Hello everybody and welcome along to this ARW transfer special with myself, Cop Jaffer Craig, and Mr. Grizz Khan. Grizz, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just feels a bit weird, man, just me and you. Don't get me wrong. Me and you is comfortable. It's no problem. But I'm just missing Gav and Ian and the other chaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little bit surreal, isn't it? Just myself and you having a chat.
It's okay. It's all right. No problem.
It's all right. We'll get through it. There's lots to get through.
Definitely is, man. Definitely is. It's been a bit of a hectic day, hasn't it? But yeah.
It certainly has. I should probably explain to people where this podcast came about. So look, at Anfield Road Wolves, we pretty much go out of our way to not talk about the ITK stuff and transfer stuff. But as you guys know, Mr. Grizz Khan has been pretty much hot property on Twitter lately and has been a man in demand. And he has been hammered on Twitter. His timeline is just full. So we came to the conclusion that rather than trying to get Grizz to respond to every single tweet, we'll bring him on here and we'll give him enough rope to hang himself. Does that sound about fair, Grizz?
Absolutely fair, man. I mean, I'd rather hang myself, with you than in front of everyone on Twitter.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's more comfortable for you here with us.
Do you know what it is? All it is, Craig, do you know what it is? You know what I'm like. I like to answer everyone and help everyone and don't act like a big shot, because the moment you start ignoring people think, he thinks he's arrogant. And, I'm not like that at all. And honest to God, I just couldn't keep up and I just couldn't answer every single one. And I just thought this would be much easier. You've got every single question that everyone's fired at us. And, I'll just pass on what I heard. That's it. Not what I know. I don't, it's not fact in terms of, you don't have to believe me, sorry. So it's just, I'm just pass on what I heard. It's my opinion. And then I'll give our opinions on it.
Look, Grizz, I think there's no denying that this time of the summer causes a lot of emotions between people. People want stuff done. We all want transfers in. Some people get angry. Some things get said. Some information can get misconstrued. And the main thing I want to suppose get across here is that information at times from many, many different people can be genuine, but transfers are fluid and things happen quickly. So things can change just as quickly.
Oh, absolutely, man. We know. There's so many examples of things changing just, literally within hours, I remember reporting the first Keita bid. Sorry, I beg your pardon. The second Keita bid. I remember tweeting it when I heard it, like roughly around 2:00 in the afternoon. And then by 4:00, I had news that has been accepted. Do you remember the second one where we struggled to agree on the structure? And then I was like abused, like anything, like, how is that possible? Oh my God, this knobhead is, I'm going to be polite and call myself a knobhead because that's the politest one I've got. This knobhead is saying it's accepted within 2 hours, but things change within hours in football, and all I was trying to do was just pass on what I heard. It has caused, some people to get upset with me, whatever, but that's not my aim. And, I always stress that this ain't my job. I'm just an absolutely average, normal LFC, passionate LFC fan who loves chatting football 24/7. And I've just, know a few people. That's it. And I just pass on what I hear. Nobody's obliged to believe me. Nobody's obliged to say, oh, what he says is fact. If you do, no problem, no worries. If you don't, same, no problem, no worries. Life goes on. Love and peace.
What I can say to the listeners is no matter what abuse you guys give Grizz online, be assured and be promised that the rest of the Wolves have given them twice as much here at our end, because we love to take the piss out of each other, and Grizz he's been a great sport about it, to be fair. So I commend you for that one, sir.
It's not a problem, mate. I'll get my own back. Don't worry about that.
Right, so let's just get stuck into it. I suppose we should start with a bit of housekeeping. And today the club confirmed the signing of Andrew Robertson from Hull. In and around 10 million. I'm not going to even pretend I know the numbers. And going in the opposite direction then, Grizz, we had young Stewart, yeah, sorry, mind gone blank. Young Kevin Stewart gone the opposite direction for in and around 8 million, from what it sounds like. There's not much we can say about them, really, is there? It is what it is.
Yeah, look, you fell for it as usual, as everyone falls for it. You called Kevin Stewart young again.
He is young. I don't care if he's going to be 30. He's always going to be young. Exactly. Kevin Stewart.
He's always going to be always going to be called a young Kevin Stewart. But yeah, no, middle-aged Kevin Stewart has finally left the club. Decent fee. we seem to be very good at outgoings in terms of the prices we're getting for them and clearing the deadwood. No harm done. We've replaced him with sort of, not replaced him directly in the squad, but sort of the fee matches just a couple of million difference. Robertson, who will be, I think will be an able deputy to James Milner, if not pushing for a starting place. So, yeah, that's a decent start.
Yeah, not too bad pieces of business at all. As you said, the Robertson fee, very reasonable. And young Kevin Stewart was a player that we got in on a free from Spurs, so to send them off for 7 or 8 million isn't too bad, I suppose, in the long term. Moving along, Grizz, look, we can cut the foreplay now and get straight into the main course. And Van Dijk, today's been pretty busy in the whole Van Dijk circles, and he's refused to train, and we've heard what the managers had to say. But from your information, what are you hearing?
Look, from my information, communication had started with third-party intermediaries for the last, I'd say, for the last few weeks. I'm not going to sort of give an accurate timescale on these things. We know what the history with our situation with sort of the apology and everything, the scenario. We made a tentative bid. We did put in a bid. I can't remember now the exact date. Damn, you know what my memory's like, Craig. I can't remember 2 hours ago. Never mind a week ago.
That's true.
But roughly, I think it was around Monday. That got rejected instantly, and we were expecting to get rejected. I'm saying, when I say we, I'm talking like as if I'm on the board. I'm not, but I'm talking from my information, from the information I've got. So let's not, people don't jump on me like start saying,
we all say we, don't we? We all say we. Yeah, exactly. We're talking about the club, or we're talking about players LFC coming family. In or out.
That's it. So we expected that. Our next move was a no move. We decided that we're not going to approach, or we're not going to sort of make any formal contact with Southampton until the player kicks up a fuss. Look, everyone knows, everyone's been saying Van Dijk, Southampton indirectly knew that, he's not happy. He's not happy, Bunny. But it was sort of, it came to the crunch where he has to there comes to a point where you have to actually tell them, whether it be in writing or verbally, or go see the manager. There seems to be a couple of different conflicting reports as to whether he's done it sort of officially or unofficially, but the main point is the manager's come out and has actually sort of confirmed it, hasn't he? Pellegrino has actually come out and said Virgil Van Dijk has told us that he doesn't want to play for us, he wants to leave, and we've told him to go away and try to fix his head. So that's a major development in my eyes, because I've always said that was the main turning point. That was where the transfer was going to swing back our way. And I think, and I believe, and I tweeted it earlier, in my humble opinion, we will be making another further bid, because now we have sort of an unhappy player. Southampton know about it. The manager knows about it. So I think it's time to strike. In my opinion, I think we're going to make another bid next week.
It seems to be very positive on Twitter, on all the LFC fans' timeline, and even looking at some of the Southampton fans, they almost seem resigned to losing them at this point.
They are. Most of the Southampton sort of fan base are resigned. Look, not. I'm never going to say poor Southampton, because we know they've rinsed us, right? They've got sort of like nearly £500 million from us.
We could have bought the damn club at this stage. You know what I mean? Easily. So we could have bought Southampton and Everton, together. But the fan base, I do feel sorry for, because us fans, we know what it's like. We have our favourites, we have our stars. We groom them, and then off they go to Liverpool. So the Southampton fan base are literally sort of kind of used to it now, and they're like, well, let's just get the most amount of money we can as early as we can, and just give the new manager sort of the tools to go out and get an able replacement for him. So, gut feeling, Grizz, and I'm asking you this just from your gut feeling, do you think he'll end up at Liverpool?
Absolutely. I've said it from the start. Balls out. I think we're going to get both Keita and Virgil Van Dijk, but I think Virgil Van Dijk in my opinion. Yeah, he'll end up at Liverpool.
From a personal point of view, he's the one player that at the start of the summer I said if we can just bring in one player this summer, for me Virgil Van Dijk is the difference maker. And I'm not saying that Keita might not go on to be a much better player, but I just think Van Dijk is what we need at this moment in time. So I have my fingers crossed, Grizz, and I hope to good God that one comes through. We'll move on.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Just wanted to add that. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't agree with you more. Virgil van Dijk is number one.
I certainly hope so. I really do, buddy. We'll move on to Naby Keita. This is the one where I have to admit I'm lost. I've been trying to keep up with this. I've been really busy with pod stuff, but I'm absolutely lost on this one. So please fill me in with what you know.
This one's obviously, yeah, this one's had many swings and roundabouts. We've had Guinean journalists saying one thing, then we've had the local journalists saying there's absolutely no chance of getting him. The German media saying there's absolutely no chance, give up, forget about it. We've had our media, the local media, the LFC journals, not having a clue, to be honest with you.
And we've had our mate Graham Kelly put up a kind of, I don't know what you call it. He put up a tweet with a fridge with a can of Red Bulls and saying, give us Keita Red Bull, which was a bit of an intriguing tweet.
Yeah, I did see that. But I think that he just took a picture of his fridge, really. Forget him. What does Graham Kelly know? Let's ignore Graham Kelly. But yeah, Graham's, that tweet, I think he said picture, I think he saw it on Facebook or something he was saying. And it was like a sort of Red Bull gives you wings, but give us Keita or something along those lines.
Yeah,
I think that was a message on it.
He's got a great sense of humour, does Graham?
He has. Oh my God, he has. But I sent him sort of a dirty talk WhatsApp today, and he said, "Grizz, stop sending him this. I'm with my family." So I got told off by him today. I sent him a dirty voice note.
Yeah, time somebody puts you in your damn place.
But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. Let's get back to the Naby Keita situation. The situation is first bid got rejected. I reported that about 7 months ago, wasn't it? Bloody hell, that's how early I got it. About a month ago, 45 million got rejected it did get rejected straight away. Right, this is where it got tricky. We made the second bid. That got accepted, right, on the terms that sort of on the agreement that the payment structure will be accepted. They asked for stupid payment structure. We just could not agree to it as a business. You got to remember, FSG are businessmen, right? So they will make decisions from a sound business point of view as well. And they just couldn't, without going. Do you want me to get into a quick detail about what they wanted from that second deal?
If you want to put your neck on the line, buddy, by all means, go ahead. But
they wanted stupid money in terms of 50 million up front. That's unprecedented. Only the likes of PSG or a Man City can just pull out 60 million cash. We'd already forked out upfront fee for Salah, hence why we got it on the reduced fee. We knew we had to sort of pay quite a down payment on the VVD. So we had to make a choice and make a stand on on the transfers. We decided to pick on Leipzig. Not pick on Leipzig, but we decided the Keita transfer was the one where we're going to try to not be clever, but be smart about how we're going to give them the money. They refused. They refused to accept our terms of the structure. They also wanted a ridiculous sell-on fee. That we thought we had him. We matched their fee at the time. What they were asking, we matched, and then they just decided to just call it a fucking day on us and just go to the media. I mean, that nobody still knows what the fuck happened there. Obviously, there were some rumblings of discontent in between the hierarchy at Leipzig. Some saying that some manager wanted him, or the sporting director wanted him. Sorry, sporting director. The manager didn't mind selling him. The sporting director wanted him. Then the owner came out and said, no, we don't want to sell. But look, at the end of the day, there was negotiations going on. We had to go back to base again, just like the VVD, and come back with a structured bid, a bigger bid. and see how far we get with that. We've actually put that bid in today, according to what I know. It's a humongous offer, absolute
Well,
humongous
I've
offer.
seen Grizz. I think the Independent are after coming out and saying that they believe there's a third bid gone in for Keita as well. I think that came out this evening. Miguel Delaney, I think.
No, Miguel Delaney, yeah, with all due respect to Miguel Delaney, or any of the journalists, I don't mean any disrespect to the journalists, but they're saying that the bid is going in. We're pondering over it. We've actually gone for it with balls out. We've actually put the bid in. We put the bid in today. The bid is £75 million, plus a 5% selling on fee. If they refuse this, Craig, what the fuck, innit? We just, there's nothing we can do. There's a lot more we can do. That is the max we're prepared to go. We've let them know that this is the final bid. We're not going to be fucked around anymore by you guys. This is the last bid. So that's like, what, 84 million euros. Take it or leave it. We want to answer by Tuesday, the latest. Otherwise, we will call it quits and we will move on.
See, that's an interesting topic, but before we push on to the possibly moving on, I just want to circle back. You've said nothing against Miguel Delaney. I just want to put it out there that I love Miguel Delaney as a journalist. Me being Irish as well, okay. I'm a little bit biased on this one.
Yes, no problem. Well, I'm your honorary Irishman. We've discussed this before. How many, come on, get that out to the...
No, we just want to put out there that there's no digs going out from you or I towards journals at all here.
To none of the... My God, I would never dream about it, think about it. It's their profession. They get paid for it. It's their job. I would never, ever, ever disrespect anyone like that.
What I would like to say, Grizz, when it comes to journalists and this, and I fully understand this, a journalist, as you said, is a paid professional who he has to be that little bit more careful as well before he puts anything out there or prints it, because it's his neck, his reputation, and his paper's reputation on the line. So that's possibly where the likes of yourself or others can jump the gun that little bit quicker maybe and make more bold statements than a journalist could make. Is that fair?
Yeah, of course we can, exactly. And that's a very, very good explanation. That's exactly, I mean, I can say what I want and when I want, and people can believe it or not, and it doesn't harm me or damage me in any way or my job or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? These people, of course, they have to do their research. Of course, they have to do their backup stories. They've got to back them up. They've got to, my news is just fresh and raw, and so people sometimes, think, what the f is he on about, and why is he calling it behind the journals' backs or before the journals? I don't do it for that reason. I just like to keep, especially in this window where we've had so many conflicting reports and sort of, I'm just the people's ITK, aren't I, Craig? I'm just the people's ITK. I'm just trying to give them an indication of what is happening, and people can choose to believe it or they don't. It's totally up to them, but never, I had a couple of
Grizz, we've been calling you Indy Can inside the walls. Like that's
cool.
How much abuse we've been giving you.
That's the nicest things you've called me. There's shout out to Matt who's been calling me worse stuff, but listen, it's all fun and games. It's all it's all, I would never step on anyone's professional's toes or anything like that. I'm just giving what I know, and then we just talk about it, give my opinion on it. But yeah, that's where the Naby Keita situation is.
But there is a plan B. Is that what we're to understand?
We're talking about Liverpool Football Club. We're talking about Jurgen Klopp. We're talking about Michael Edwards. We're talking about people, a new setup, a new structure. Are we really, really that naive to think there's no alternatives or plan Bs? Come on, wake up, people. Are we really thinking that, no, this is it? I mean, it was again, full respect to Tony Barrett, but to say, not Tony, I beg your pardon. Who was it that said today?
Miguel Delaney?
No. It was memory is gone. Paul Joyce. So Joycey lad came out and said, we have no other alternatives. We've just got these two in mind. If we don't get them, then we're fucked, basically. In a nutshell. Bollocks, man. We've got alternatives. One of the alternatives that was mentioned today, what a little birdie told me, was Jean-Michel Seri. I hope that's the best way of pronouncing his name or the correct way.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving that one to you. I'm not touching that one. I haven't got a clue.
Plays for Nice. apparently in the same mold as Naby Keita, but not as all-round, obviously, not as all-round complete midfielder like Naby Keita is. But we've inquired about him. We've been quoted like £35 million for him. You know what happens when we go shopping. People just sort of bump up the prices to they quickly change the menu. Do you know what I mean? The tag on the price. So we've been quoted 35 million for him. No bid, just an inquiry. Same with VVD. We've got. You know, I don't want to give any names. I don't want to. Shall I give names? It's boring if I don't give any names, isn't it? Well, we've got tentative deals. You know, we've got tentative inquiries. We've made tentative inquiries. We've got certain deals agreed with players that, just in case VVD doesn't come. But as I said, I'm 80% sure the VVD will end up at Liverpool, so we won't be. But it was just generally, look, we have got alternatives. We have got backups. Of course, we have. We're Liverpool Football Club. Jurgen Klopp won't have it any other way. Like he would not say, you know, to suggest that we're that naive to not have backups is mental in my opinion. But we have, but I don't think they'll be needed. No.
Gut feeling on Keita.
My gut feeling on Keita is, I've said it all along. My gut feeling on Keita is good, but it's not as good as the club's. Now, that sounds strange, right? But the club are very confident of striking a deal. I'm confident. 60-40, I'd give that 60%. You know, but because, you know, just Twitter you fall into the trap of believing people on Twitter, don't you? I know it's hard. I tried not to, you know, fall into that trap, but you do. And just there's so much negativity with regards to these deals, especially the last few weeks.
Oh man, I've been all over the place. I've been up, I've been down, I've been angry, I've been happy. I don't know what's going on at this point.
Yeah, but the worrying or scary thing is most of the negativity is coming from our own journos. Do you know what I mean? And it's because they don't know, unfortunately. They haven't got much insight into some of these deals. But yeah, the clubs seem confident, Craig. That's all I can say. The clubs seem confident. I'm very confident. I'm just confident. So hopefully that gets over the line as well. But we're not going to wait around now. There's not much long to go. Hopefully there's no more Naby Keita on our bloody LFC Twitter every day, every night. I reckon by Max Tuesday we know where we stand.
Unless that's him leaning, then we'll have him all over Twitter. Thank you very much.
No, that's fine. Yeah, exactly. We'll accept that. Right. But if it doesn't come to fruition, I don't think past Tuesday we'll be hearing about it again.
Interesting stuff. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you about was Coutinho. We all know that Paris Saint-Germain are interested in going to Barcelona to get their Brazilian superstar, and they're not going to get him, I don't think. I can't see Barcelona selling Neymar, but look, is this Barcelona trying to have a backup plan to try and come and get Felipe Coutinho, or is it them looking at PSG and knowing that they probably won't get Marco Verratti and trying to come up with another plan there? I personally, again, this is just my opinion, but I don't see any hope in hell that Liverpool are going to sell Felipe Coutinho. I just don't see it happening.
Craig, I was baffled when I saw the reports this morning. And again, it was Mr. Joyce that came out with a story, wasn't it? That a bid's been made. I 100% can say there was no bid received as of today. What's the date, Craig, before we get this wrong?
I believe it's the 21st or the 20th. Yeah, I'm all over the place as well.
So 10:30 on the 20th. Did you say 21st, Craig? Stop giving fake news.
21st.
All right. So as of the 21st, 10:30, no official bid for Philippe Coutinho has been put in. That's not to say that Barcelona will put in a bid. That's not to say Barcelona may be interested in or are interested in. But the report that came out today, I don't know where that came from, why that came out. I couldn't work out. As you said, as you've summed it up kind of vaguely, because it is very vague, there seems to be a sort of, 3-4 transfers within a transfer, doesn't it? In terms of Verratti, Barcelona want Verratti, PSG want Neymar, Barca want Coutinho. So, I don't know what's happened there, where everyone's got this sort of links. But look, Coutinho, there's no bid for Coutinho. As far as I know, it will not be entertained. Very, very, very small percentage chance of Coutinho leaving Liverpool this season.
Yeah, I don't think there's cat and hell's chance of him leaving this season, if I'm being honest. But we've been talking much longer than we anticipated here, so I think we're going to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and once again, folks, take this with a pinch of salt. This is just us giving Grizz an opportunity to come on and say his piece outside of the usual podcast that we do, because we're just trying to save him some time on Twitter, and as we said earlier, give him enough rope to hang himself. So Grizz, thank you very much, my friend.
Nice one, guys. No problem, man.
And we'll be back with our usual shows next week. So thank you very much, and we hope you enjoyed it.